Hello everybody and welcome to the Elite Dangerous live stream on the horizon, episode 5, Collectables. Now of course the title of the episode is Collectables and we will be touching on that throughout the stream.
Yes.
But we do have some other awesome things to tell you and show you. Sandy here, Sandro Sammarco, I forgot to introduce him. We have of course a special guest always, as we always do. We have Sandro Sammarco here. Sandro Sammarco, the lead designer or one of them lot?
Yes.
You design the game.
I help.
You've helped.
I help with a big team effort, yeah.
Okay, fantastic, yeah.
Although if you want, it can all be me. That's cool.
I don't think we can say that because I think some of the guys are probably watching this right now in the office, just round the corner.
It wouldn't be true.
So when you hear the door being barged down in a minute, that is because of what Sandy's saying. So everybody, yeah, it's absolutely lovely to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining us today. People in the chat are asking what products I've been using on my hair. I do know that is because Zach asked them to say that. So while I appreciate, and I'm just going to pretend that that's really genuinely how they feel about my hair. So thanks, I know it looks great. But yes, thank you so much, Sandro, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. He's
got the chat scrolling down in front of him as well. So if you do have questions for him there, that was great. But I think one of the moderators can actually put the link in chat as well for us, where we'll be able to see the questions a lot easier. So do put them in there, because I'm going to try and do the same thing that I did with David last week, David Braben last week. If you didn't catch it, we interviewed David Braben on here. Is he just laughing at the stream questions?
Why is your skin so soft? It's bothering me. I'm slightly nervous. It's beautiful, you know. Don't get me wrong.
Don't touch it, because if you do, I bruise easily, both in my soul and also externally too. So, Sandy, why does Sandy have a shoulder snake? Sandy, maybe you should clear that up for everybody.
This is not a snake.
Yeah.
What fool thought it's a snake when it's got fins? You can see that.
Yeah, I don't think people can see that.
And it's got like little things. It's a loach.
Welcome to the Elite Dangerous Loach stream, where Sandy will detail the weird little loach thing on his shoulders. It's going well so far, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us. So, what we've got here, like I say, lots of different questions. We've got lots of interesting stuff. Hopefully, you guys, answer questions, ask questions at home, and just join in and have a really fun time today. So you've got some quite exciting details about collectables, but we're going to go into that later on.
Yes.
It's something that we're going to tell rather than show with the collectables side.
Yes. Yes.
Really go into some details about what that means, and you can talk us through collectables, because it's an aspect of Elite Dangerous that we've not touched on at all yet.
No, it's brand new.
Yeah. So
you're going to hear it here first.
Yeah, which I think is absolutely awesome. And then on top of that, we also have some very cool images to show of the ships that are coming to 1.5. So without further ado, I think should we jump in? Should we jump in?
Let's do it.
Sandy, what
I'm
going to do is I'm going to spin the imaginary wheel that is behind, right here in the middle. I see the middle bit that's on the screen. I'm going to pretend there's like a wheel, and everyone just look into the middle there like that. Oh, what's it going to land on? What's it going to land on? No, I won't do that. It's landed on the ASP. So I'm going to switch over to the ASP Scout right now. Should we just press play on the video, and you can see the ASP in all its wonder, and we'll let it loop through a couple times, and then we'll come back and you can tell us.
Yeah, why not? That sounds like a splendid plan.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so here we go. Here's the ASP Scout. Oh, there's a little atmosphere in there.
It's so pretty.
Sorry, I'm just not making noises like that now. Just so. Oh God, we're right in the middle. I apologise. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that.
Shrink us down.
Yeah, shrink us down a little bit. Sorry about this. There you go. So yeah. Yes, someone says there, very elite 84, and I think that's an interesting point, because actually with the conversation that we were having with David.
Yes.
This morning about
it's like well spotted. It is the geometry for the ASP Scout is very close to the old Elite and Frontier ASP. So it's a bit of a throwback. So the ASP Scout is a stripped down version of the ASP Explorer. It's a more lightweight, more affordable exploring ship.
Okay.
So it's still got a great jump range.
Yeah, you got your cheat sheet down.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I've been prepped by Mike Evans. I've got all the details. So it's stripped down. It's still got a great jump range, but it's got less weapons.
Yeah.
It's got It has, yeah, no, absolutely. It has. I beg your pardon. It has fewer weapons.
I'm really sorry. This
it has
is
less
the way
power.
you're allowed to talk to lead designers.
Overall, it has less power in its weapons capability because it has fewer weapons to deliver it.
Yeah.
So it's lost a couple of its power points. So it's actually got the same number of power points as a Viper, and it's got 2 medium and I think 2 small. But it's more manoeuvrable thanks to its stripped down weight. So it's at the end of the day, if you've got an Asp Explorer, you don't need this. Yeah. But on the way to the Asp Explorer, this is one of those nice stepping stone ships. So it's filling a role like a role gap, and also it gives us a bit of variety with the different types of ships, like the Diamondback ships. There's now a broader. We're growing a broader range of ships that all can do the same kind of role in slightly different ways. A slightly different price.
As an explorer myself, is this something that would interest me, or am I looking? Is this sort of a more affordable?
This is definitely affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into prices because the prices may, I'd be lying if I said we knew exactly what the price is going to be, but it's definitely below the Asp Explorer, and it's more close to the Cobra range.
So what people are asking things like cargo max, medium or small pad. Do you have those sorts of details?
No, not all of them. It's definitely going to fit. Gosh, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I know which pad it's going to fit on. It's probably going to need a medium pad. The cargo space, again, it's not brilliant, but it's going to have some.
Yeah.
It's
some cargo.
Yeah, it definitely can carry cargo.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. If you've just joined us, by the way, this is the Elite Dangerous live stream where we are detailing things about collectibles. Later on, we're going to go into more information about that. It's more of a sort of tell, don't show type thing, but it is really exciting because you're going to hear new details that you haven't heard before about stuff that's coming to 2.0 with Elite Dangerous Horizons. So I think it's really, 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 very, very exciting stuff. So. But I think, Sandy, you sell it well, so we will go into that shortly. I also have a huge list of questions as well for Sandy, and we will see whether he can answer those.
I'll do my best to answer.
Yeah, so again, if you're just joining us, Sandy Sammarco, lead designer on Elite Dangerous. So it's a real pleasure to have you here. I really do enjoy when you come on because we always have a good, fun time.
It's awesome.
It is fun. He has got a shoulder, what did you call it?
It's a loach. It's a coolie loach.
And also your t-shirt as well.
Unique.
Can you tell people
I think you're fine. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Hutton Orbital Truckers t-shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to the Hutton Orbital Truckers.
Yeah. And if you haven't,
it's a generous donation.
Yeah, if you don't know much about those guys, of course, you can find out more.
Look them up.
Yeah, and also wait till my episode of Educating Ed comes out.
Oh my goodness,
get taken on. Yeah. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us in the chat as well. If you've got more questions, if one of the mods can put the link in the chat, that'd be really, really cool as well, to where they can ask questions, and I can. I can refresh this page in a bit.
Adul's Armada, a loach is a fish.
A loach is a fish.
I believe it's a bottom-feeding fish.
Okay.
Much maligned, but lovely.
Okay, well, we just showed off the asp. I quickly skirted over that one. As if I didn't hear what you actually said. We just showed off the Asp Scout for the very first time, and now we've got the next ship, and let's spin the wheel of ship now.
What could it possibly be?
It is the Cobra Mark IV.
Oh, this one's a bit special.
Okay, I like this video, and if you listen carefully, let's listen. Hopefully the sound's coming through for you guys. Yeah.
Youch.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what we just saw.
Right, so first of all, the Cobra Mark IV is one of our reward ships for those folk that have both Elite Dangerous and Horizons. So it's not by default a ship that everyone gets.
Yeah, so to explain, you have to have owned
Elite Dangerous
and Elite Dangerous Horizons.
And Elite Dangerous Horizons. So it's a big thank you for support. So fundamentally it's a Cobra, but as you can plainly see, it has a very different weapons placement setup. So whereas the original Cobra has very wide-finned small hard points, the Cobra Mark IV has them in a very effective position directly above the cockpit and on centre line, and it's even got an extra little hard point. So this is a bit of a demon. You were talking about the other day when I showed you this video for the first time, you were like, oh my god, because people of course lead
and they
Yeah.
pull back and
It's a natural thing. The way that the
lead up.
ships are designed, the way the
Yeah.
cockpits are designed, and the way that people seem to, by default operate is that you when you chase a ship when you're dogfighting, you always fly up to it,
Yeah.
and you fly up and away. So if you put gimbaled weapons on these hard points, they've got a much better arc. Basically, they're very likely to be hitting the thing that you're trying to kill.
Yeah, I mean, aesthetically, it's very similar, wouldn't you say?
It's got cool fins though.
The cool things.
It's got cool fins. Yeah, it's I think it's a bit chunkier.
Yeah,
and
it is. No,
internally,
it's got that back.
Yeah, it's
Back end.
an all-round tougher ship as well. It isn't quite as fast or manoeuvrable, but that's the trade-off, because what we don't want to do is have ships that blatantly just a million times better than other ships of the same
Absolutely.
kind of class. I mean, there is disparity in the ships because a trading ship is good at one thing and a combat ship's different, better at another thing. But within the class, within a role, within a size, we don't want one to be super powerful.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, everything has to be balanced out as well to make it
As
fun.
best
for
we
the game.
can, but it's a pretty sweet ship,
Oh yeah, look at it.
basically.
Lovely stuff. It's a lovely reward. For everybody who's
Yeah,
been,
that's some
I say loyal to us, but you know what I mean. People
absolutely.
who've played
It's a very strong combat ship.
Yeah, so we also, I just want to quickly reiterate as well, or not reiterate, but just say, I'm going to be uploading these videos that you're seeing here spinning.
Oh my god!
I'm going to
You
be
can do
uploading
that.
those on YouTube as soon as we've finished here on the stream, all separate little videos, so don't worry about doing those things, editing them, but take it yourself. And, I'll put them on Reddit. Well, you know, they do say. Also, we are in a new little streaming room today, so if you ever do hear anyone playing ukulele across the way, that is because the music department is just over there.
Yeah, it
So
is
if you
there.
just hear like a ding, 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 it isn't part of our new streaming setup that we've got now. Got a
Well, then
ukulele
maybe it should
player
be.
in. Well, maybe we should.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So should we? And we'll come back to our faces. Here we are again, Sandy. Let's do question number one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read from this list of questions. I'm mixing it up. I'm keeping people
I'm ready.
guessing.
This is
Keeping people
exciting.
guessing. So
I'm
we
scared.
have the top question,
Yeah.
and it was voted up by everybody. So I think that the
Okay.
best way of doing it is to read from the top, like we did with David's stream. The one thing just to say in advance is if Sandy can't answer anything, or if he doesn't know the answer, or it's more likely that he's not allowed to say anything, he's just going to say that. So I hope that's okay. What are you just?
I'm not going to read that out.
No,
Wow.
don't read any of the naughty
No.
stuff. Stop saying naughty stuff, people. So, David Potter UK asks,
Yes.
will Horizons bring new exploration tasks such as surface mapping, taking rock samples, finding ancient ruins, relics, fossils, and life?
So hopefully, yes. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that all of the stuff is going to be there in 2.0 because although Horizons, it's a season of expansions. So the first expansion is Planetary Landings, but that's not the end of Planetary Landings. This is a big task, and it's going to spread across the entire season. So we have been discussing things specifically, actually, like surface mapping, planetary surface mapping.
Awesome.
So we've got some cool ideas, but I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to bock it, and I'm not sure exactly when it's going to come in. But that's kind of on point of the kind of things that we want. Yes.
Great. I mean, that's cool, and I think that's a fair answer. And I think that's absolutely nothing confirmed here today. It's
I watch the confirms come along and wait for the person to come through.
Just nothing. Hashtag nothing confirmed. We're not confirming anything new, but apart from collectibles, of course, which we are going to go into at some point soon. Then we have, are there future plans? Danger Copperfield, lovely name. Welcome, Danger Copperfield. Thanks for asking the question. 70 votes he got for this one. So I can click this asked button here. Like that. Asked. Nothing's happening. Are there future plans to include an in-game discovery log for us explorers to record our findings across the galaxy? If you can't answer the question.
Yeah, so I can't answer this. I can't just come out and go yeah. But it is something that we have been discussing. So one thing that it's probably worth making clear: we're not afraid to make changes to the interface or the game mechanics if we think we can improve on things and make it better. I think it's a very valid question to say, can we have better better commander logging, better ways to show the narrative that you're creating for yourself. I'm not sure exactly what form it's going to take, and I'm certainly not sure when. But a future, it's on our list. We would like to do that. Well, I personally think it's very important. This concept of having effectively you're telling your own story. So the more tools that we can give you to do that, the better.
Great, that's a good answer. So, I think that one more question, and then we'll do the next ship on the list.
I can take it.
The next ship. You're doing well. You're doing very well. Everybody at home, how is Sandy doing? Do let him know in the chat. Do say hello to Sandy there, because he does appreciate these things. His little loach appreciates it too. It's kind of strange that he's got a hit, but okay. Don't talk about the loach directly. He gets sensitive about the loach.
Look at that face. How can you not love that face?
What is the largest ship that can be stored as a fighter? This is relating to something that's coming further down. So, as part of Horizons, as part of the season expansions, which is ship-launched fighters. Correct?
Ship-launched fighters. So, not to be too ironic, but the largest fighter that can be launched are the fighters. So there currently aren't any plans to have.
Just quickly, look, all this love for Sandy.
Oh, thank you very. You know what? That's making me feel warm all over. Thank you very, very much.
Sandro, grow a beard.
I can't
grow a beard, Sandy.
Lemon Hoko, a great name. I would love to grow a beard, but I lack the manliness to grow a beard. I'll try.
So Mad Dog has said, Sunday I'm missing flamboyant shirts, but that is because you are wearing.
I have to make an exception for the Hunter, because it would be rude. It would be rude not to. It's a great T-shirt.
So if you don't,
but it will return.
If you don't know Sandro Sammarco, Sandy Sammarco, he is well known for his vibrant shirts. Vibrant is.
You've got to dress for the weather you want.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, sorry.
Awesome. I've clicked asked. I can't remember what your answer was because I was too engrossed by people's love.
What was the question again?
It was to do with the largest size.
Oh yeah. So
currently
there aren't any plans to have any ships larger than the fighters carried by the ship. So we don't have a Russian doll syndrome of in my Anaconda there's a Cobra, and in my Cobra there's a Sidewinder, in my Sidewinder there's a buggy. I'm not going to rule that out totally, but right now I think we've got enough on our plate with fighters and buggies. Because you've got to think, fair enough, an Anaconda could easily carry a Sidewinder, but how the hell is it going to get it out? You know, it's going to have to squeeze out through the cargo hatch, or we'd have to cut a giant hole in the bottom of it.
The whole thing that opens up.
Yeah, so it's a big ask. So sorry, but not at the moment.
Okay, great, and thank you for answering those questions. Candid, that's what we like. That's what we like here on the Horizon. Which I'm talking as if it's like a TV show. Hey, welcome to On the Horizon. I'm your host, Edward Lewis. So moving on from that, let's stop being silly and show the next ship. How about that, everybody? You want to see the next ship, everyone?
It's not a turducken ship.
It's not a what?
A turducken ship.
I don't know.
That would be a ship inside a ship inside a ship.
Oh, of course. Sorry,
sorry, I've lost your name, but very clever. I appreciate that.
Good. Right, so we showed the Cobra Mark IV, which is here. We showed the Asp, Asp Scout,
it's so
which
cute.
is here.
It's like a puppy with a big head.
And now we have the Viper Mark IV, which, I will get rid of our faces.
Yes. Yeah.
The Viper Mark IV as well is actually something that was slightly teased in last week's David did a sneak peek video, and actually we saw it from a little bit of a sort of tight angle, but here you're getting a nice good look at the 4. So tell us about the 4.
So the Viper is really interesting. So historically, the Viper is one of the fast intercept ships, local space intercept ships. So pretty terrible frame shift jump range, but very fast. So a bit of a boom and zoom ship. So the Mark IV it eschews that a little bit. It's tougher. It's bigger. It's stronger.
Look at its back end.
Exactly. It's chunkier. It's better armoured. It's got a better power plant, and actually, it's got better frame shift capability as well. So it can actually jump further. But obviously, again, all of that comes at a cost. And in this time, it's top speed. So it's not quite the hot rod that the Viper is, because it's carrying around all this extra weight. So again, this is going to be really interesting because it's in this range of ships where they're at the smaller end of scale, and now hopefully there's going to be more options.
Yeah.
So you can play it how you want to play it. It's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of destabilises the combat balances that we've got.
So I was going to say, like, why as a player would I go for the Viper over the Viper Mark IV? Why?
It's play styles, absolutely. The Viper Mark IV, hopefully we'll be able to mix it up close a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it can get around a bit better, but it's not quite as fast.
Yeah, somebody in the chat says, the Dredger Cloak says, does it still only have 2 hard points?
Let me just check my list here. I believe...
Your little cheat sheet.
Yes, it does. It has exactly the same hard points. However, because it's got a much bigger power plant, you'll find that you don't have as many power woes with different types of weapon loadouts. So actually, it's a little bit more versatile in terms of what weapons it can use.
Awesome. Well,
yeah,
it's a fab looking ship again.
Yeah, it's sexy.
It's really, really nice. Yeah,
and it looks mean.
Yep, like I said,
it look mean. It's getting a Viper Mark IV.
Yeah,
it's a meanie ship. I mean, not that I necessarily approve or disapprove, but I'm just saying.
I think it. Yeah. I think basically what you're trying to say is that anybody who flies in a Viper is a meanie.
Well, I'd be scared if I saw that coming at me.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't want to meet that in a dark alley, that's for sure.
All right, so the next one we have will come up in a minute, but I'm going to read a couple more questions from the list. Sorry, I know that you're dreading these moments. No,
it's awesome.
It's great. But thank you all for watching. If you've just tuned in, this is the Elite Dangerous Horizons live stream where we talk about collectibles. And we're going to go into that later on, but we're actually showing everybody with the new ships as well that come into 1.5, which you're going to get this week. You're going to be playing this week. That's what we're still saying. I
sincerely hope so.
Yeah, that's right. Because we did say that last week.
If you're saying that's true, I believe you implicitly.
David Braben said it on this stream last week.
And then even more so.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, Elite123 asks, "Can I carry an SRV inside a Sidewinder instead of an?" Oh, we just answered that, didn't we?
Sorry. Elite 123.
Yeah, sorry, Elite
456 says no.
I do. Elite 123, the 123rd of the elites, which is that'll be 2060 that we get that out. So no. Will there be new weapons in 1.5 and Horizons? Oh, it's a good question.
It's a very good question.
No, it's a good question. I like it.
So, at the risk of getting everyone in trouble, hopefully yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've got planned for season 2. I'm fairly confident this won't be 2.0 though.
Okay.
It's not on the first round, but it definitely is in there because I've seen it. I've seen it in the schedule. Even I look at the schedule sometimes. Some more weapons, especially in the larger hardpoint scale. So huge, maybe.
Wow.
That's the plan.
Well, let's not say too much. Just in
No,
case
that's
wrong.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you're the
remember,
designer.
look, as I always say in every post I ever make, no guarantees, no ETA, but we appreciate all the feedback that we get for the game in total. And plenty of people have been saying, well, we want more guns, especially for the larger hard points. We hear you. We want to make that happen.
Yeah. Awesome. That's good to hear. So, next question. Will we be able to mine and mineral survey planets? That was from Jaw79, J-O-A-R 79.
So,
the 79th of the Jaws.
I don't want to go into too much detail. Yes. And going forward, more yes.
Wow.
But I'm not... I don't know. I don't want to go into any details.
Exactly. You don't have to say any more, but it's something that you, again... You're not confirming. Well, you are sort of confirming. But
there's stuff that you can do on the planet's surface, and you will be able to do, and it will involve minerals of various sorts and things. So I just don't want to go into any details about it.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, I'll be lashed. Probably not. Actually, I won't be lashed.
He won't be lashed.
I mean,
it's
not
something we do.
But no.
Moving on. Will NPC wingmen for hire be available before season 3? What a 41 votes for Arvd.
Will wingmen NPCs be available?
So, again, you can say, you can choose to. I said I would ask the question.
Yeah.
And I'm asking the question.
I don't know. The timing on that, I've no idea. It's definitely something that I'm all over. I really.
Doesn't you love the idea of it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great idea. I mean, we've got multi-crew coming. That's proven to be very interesting with the various options that we're looking at, and as part of that, it only makes sense that we look at NPCs at the same time.
That's right.
So I can't guarantee anything, but it was certainly something we'd like to do.
Okay, awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
So moving on to very quickly. Not in that rude way.
Someone just says I could ask the Loach. The Loach has all of the answers, but unfortunately,
every now and again.
If you
ever every now and again just whispers in your ear.
Yeah.
You're saying too much, Sandro.
Yeah.
Stop talking now. Sandro, a beard would reflect your wisdom. If you have a beard, then it would reflect your wisdom.
I think my beard status does reflect my wisdom. That's the problem.
Yes. Oh, I see. That's not nice. You're a very wise man. So let's show another ship. Everyone loves the ships. So this is my order that I've chosen. It is a random order. I'll just do a quick little run through. We showed the Asp Scout, which Sandy talked about, and I will be uploading all of these videos at the very end. We're going straight into the Frontier Developments YouTube into its own little playlist, so you can find them all there. Then we showed the Cobra Mark IV with its beautiful, lovely. It's
quite scary hardpoint layout, yeah.
Yeah. Then we showed the Viper Mark IV, which is awesome looking.
Sinister.
It just looks like it's going to punch you in the face. But don't worry, there's a sign that says watch the step, so that's okay. And then so there's a new one. This is the keelback.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, here's the keelback. Let's let it loop for a second. So there you go. That's the
keelback.
The keelback.
I really like this ship. I think it's got a lot of character. So the keelback is a trader, primarily still. It's based off of the Type 6.
Yeah, I was going to say it's clearly
it's a modified Type 6. But it's a really interesting one. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. I hope it's popular. I hope people do get in there and try it because it's an interesting mix. It's a trader that leans towards combat. So it's an interesting mix.
Yeah. I'm going to just mute the sound because it is looping, but yeah, even though the atmosphere is nice, it's just we were getting a looping sound file. So tell us about the size of it.
So it's still technically approximately the same size as the Type 6.
Okay.
But it's got more hard points. Yeah. It's got 2 mediums. And it's a 2 medium and 2 small, which is pretty good for a trader ship. And it's still reasonably manoeuvrable as well. I think anyone that's got a Type 6 will probably know that they're actually reasonably nippy and reasonably manoeuvrable. So it's still going to struggle probably if it comes up against a plethora of vultures and anacondas. But it's certainly got more firepower now, and it's got better internals. It's got more armour, so it can take a bit of a beating as well. And obviously, the downside is it does lose some cargo capacity. So I think the original, I think the Type 6 can carry approximately around 100 units.
You're saying
the normal Type
6,
6, yeah. This one, I think it's closer to around 70 in the default loadout. Okay. So it's a significant hit, but still a lot of cargo space.
And it makes up for it in.
It's tougher,
defense,
basically. Yeah, absolutely.
It looks squatter.
Yeah,
but in a nice way.
It's chunky.
And those chunky sort of engines on the side or thrusters on the side, apparently they will slowly sort of move as you come into land and aim down towards the ground.
So I'm told that when it comes into land, it's going to do some cool animations as well.
Yeah. So sadly we don't have that feature.
Oh, it's also got a better power plant.
Yeah.
Just in case you're worrying, so it can make use of these hard points.
Okay. Any more on that?
No, that's like I say, Chunky Monkey. That's
the Chunky Monkey keelback. Everybody show the love for the keelback on the stream in the chat. If you want it, let us know.
Big boned.
Yeah, that was the keelback. Matthias Bennett's we just entered. That was the keelback that we just showed there. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to put them all in a playlist at the end of the stream. So the moment we press stop, I'm going to run downstairs and put those live. So.
Sorry. Someone just asked. Ben Mosswoodward.
Ben Mosswoodward. Yeah.
What's the jump range? I think the jump range is quite reasonable.
Okay.
I don't think it's particularly better. But I don't think it's actually that much worse either. So I think it's in the same ballpark.
Very, very cool. So more questions. Question time, Sandy.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay, I've asked that one, so I'll click asked. Arved asks another question. Arved has he asked a couple of very popular questions, this chap. So
well done,
will passenger missions be added during season 2 or later?
Yes.
Was that yes?
It was
to both. Because that's still very vague, and you can be as vague as you want. Remember,
the plan is to get passenger missions in season 2.
Okay.
Get passenger gameplay in season 2. I'm going to do the boring stuff of caveat and say, who knows? Some things might prove harder, some things might prove easier. But the plan is yes. At some point in season 2, there will be.
You would love to get it in.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We have multiple ships which are primarily passenger ships. It would be a bit weird if we didn't do it. It's just a matter of timing.
In the past, how much have you said about passenger gameplay in general?
Very little. Very little. Other than that, you can see that you've got the Orca and there are other ships as well.
So it's something that we can go into at a later date, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen.
Awesome.
There's no doubt about that.
So yeah, everybody, there you go, sort of. It's good. So that's asked. You've got 2 more questions, then we're going to do another ship reveal as well in a second.
Okay, no, shoot Slugger.
How will we store the loot we find, asks Space 2000.
So I don't want to go too much into loot at the moment, although we are going to talk about something on a similar note in a little while, I imagine.
Right, the name of the thing is Collectables.
Collectables, yeah. So in general, the concept for things that you collect is that they are slightly different from normal commodities in that you have personal storage that's always available to you. So even if you die, you don't lose it.
Okay.
So hopefully, you just basically you're carrying a lot of stuff around with you.
Okay.
That's not to say that commodities won't be useful as part of crafting and other things, but Ed's giving me the nod there. That's all that needs to be said about that. But yes,
you can say whatever you want, Sam. I'm not in control of your words.
So yeah, so the plan is for specific materials is that we're going to be quite generous and say, yeah, you have a maximum amount you can carry, but you can carry it wherever you are.
Cool. Lazarus Reed asks, will you introduce, yes, with 38 votes, popular question, will you introduce in Season 2 more Galaxy Map tools, such as the possibility of creating routes by using waypoints and saving routes, etc. ... question mark, close quotes.
No idea, sorry.
Next question.
I'm really sorry about that.
No, it's okay. That's
okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Good answer. Good, honest answer, that's what I want to say. Ben Moss Woodward, who just literally asked that was a coincidence.
Hey, Ben.
36 votes. If we have the room for it, will we be able to store more than one fighter in our ship?
Yes. Hey, don't look at me. I just happen to know that's true.
No, good. I told you to be honest earlier.
And obviously now, like, life is going to scupper my plans and it will turn to be false. But
yeah,
at the moment,
well,
it's true.
That's it with game development. And actually, if you watch, this is something that I've learned from being in here anyway. If you watch the last week's live stream, David talks about the nature of game development in general and how things can change over time and develop and stuff like that. So you have to always bear that in mind when.
I know it's really rubbish, and we have to keep saying, you have to go, well, that's the plan, and yes, we do want to do all this stuff. But you don't. At the end of the day, when you're making something from nothing, there's always the chance that something might change or go wrong, or who knows what.
And that's it. And you always have to keep in mind that obviously with people who care about it so much in the community and the people watching, nearly 2,000 people. Welcome, by the way, to the stream. We've got nearly 2,000 people watching us right now.
Hello.
Yeah, so it's lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for joining us on this crazy trip that we do once a week here. So I think that was 3 questions.
It felt like hundreds.
Let's give them their.
She was fine.
Let's give them a little treat.
Thank you for the questions.
I'll do it again. I'll do the thing that I did last time where I did this. And then I said, okay, so we showed the ASP. Here is the ASP Scout. And like I said, I'll be putting these up at the end. Then we've got the Cobra Mark IV, which we showed off as well. Then we showed the Viper Mark IV, as you can see here, which looks very, very nice. Yeah. And the Keelback, which I think people seem to enjoy the Keelback.
It's cool.
Yeah,
they should do. It's a little cool little ship.
Yeah, it's very nice. One sec. And then I think we have. I think. Let's show.
Oh my God! Right, this is the kind of stuff I think some people have been waiting for.
This is where it gets fun. This is where the good times happen. All right, so we've got the Corvette, the Federal Corvette. There it is, opening its huge hardpoints.
Yeah, they're too huge.
That's numeral 2.
Yep.
Huge.
Yeah, they are possibly also too huge, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably the most candid look people have had at the Corvette.
What a beast!
Yeah, lovely thing.
Shocked got the power plant to do.
I think we just let this loop for a couple of minutes. Yeah, we can see we spent a bit of time on this one.
This ship's definitely making a statement.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, so hopefully people will like that. So yeah, I think we'll leave us off screen for a second. Like I said, I'm going to upload this very just when the stream ends. But yeah, hopefully, and also you can see on this actually there's been a bit of some damage onto the ship as well. And on a couple of the shots you can see actually there's like some scratches on the side.
Well, something that big, you know, you can't expect it to be pristine all the time, surely.
Yeah, so something that big, size. Tell me about the size. How can we compare this to something else?
So I think it's fair to say it's very comparable to the Anaconda.
Okay. Bigger, smaller though?
It's quite similar actually. I think it's very similar. It's actually, I'd say probably it's a little bit more streamlined. It's clearly got quite a lot of guns. It's got 2 small, 2 medium, 1 large, and 2 huge hard points. So it's not necessarily much super powerful compared to the Anaconda. It sacrifices some of the smaller weapons for 2 huge hard points. Yeah. They're very centrally placed, so they are very well placed, directly behind the bridge. It's also a little bit more manoeuvrable. because this is ever slightly edging more towards a combat, but pure combat role.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it's tough. It's manoeuvrable. It's got very big guns. Its internals, I don't think it's got quite as much space as the Anaconda. Like I say, it's slightly less multi-role, slightly more going to stick a big gun in your face.
Yeah, it's pretty close, isn't it? Look at it.
Fairly terrifying, though.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
There's some lovely detail on this as well. And actually, it's not my favourite ship we're going to show.
I like it. I like all of the ships. I can't say it's a good one.
As in, I'm just saying it's beautiful. I'm saying it's not my favourite ship that we're actually going to show today. But
what a surprise!
Before we do that, we've got some more questions.
Yep, bring it
everybody,
on.
Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the stream. We've got over 2,000 people watching, and it is always fantastic to have you guys here with us. But yeah, we are just showing off lots of the ships that are going to be coming in Lead Designer 1.5 and Horizons, and you're going to be getting you can play with these ships this week. They're coming soon. They're coming very soon. If you can save up. I don't know how much the cost. We don't have the costs written down.
Well, I think it's fair to say that the federal Corvette is not going to be cheap.
Also, Corvette rankings and things like that.
I don't actually know.
Okay.
Clearly, there will be a ranking requirement for it.
Yeah.
It's like I say, a main ship of the line for the Federation. So.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm going to load all the videos of those as well. But we are going to be talking about collectibles in the next. Oh, we've got 25 minutes after the stream. So I'll ask because we're getting too involved.
Get some questions. It's all good.
No, let's do this.
I'm
doing this as well. We've got. Oh, this is nice. This is another little nice video we've got, which I forgot.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a drive around the Corvette from an SRV.
Yeah, just in case you thought it wasn't very big.
Here's a look. Sense of scale, which I think really just show off.
You need quite a lot of flat area to land it, let's say that.
Yeah, it's really funny because Alex, one of our video guys who helped us get this, he said he had to land on 3 different planets before he could find a smooth, easy landing space. So we'll let that play again one more time. But yeah, is there any more you can say about the
so I think someone was asking, I'm terribly sorry, I missed the name, the jump range.
Okay.
I don't actually know that for sure. I suspect, being a combat ship, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
I suspect though it's probably in a similar region to the Anaconda. And again, you've got to look at it in terms of size brackets. If we made the Corvette or any other ship it much bigger and much better, then it wouldn't make any sense for the Anaconda. We'd have to price it astronomically. So it's meant to be. It's purposefully comparable to the same class of ships that the Anaconda also fits in, and other ships, I guess.
Fit in so people can see this. But yeah,
Eric Bay says, "Can I hide my ship in a crater like Han Solo? If you can land in it." Actually, a lot of the craters I've seen are quite flat inside. It's a good place to land, apart from the strange mound in the middle, which apparently is geologically correct.
Is that right?
Yeah, there is. Far clever people than me would be able to tell you why.
Right. Well, I think again, like I said, I've uploaded this video on YouTube, and I'll link it below, so you'll be able to see that. Hello, we're back.
It's got good shields.
Our faces are back. Thank you everybody for joining us today and watching. We're going to be talking about collectibles in just a moment with Sandy. I've got a couple more questions and one more ship to show you. I can't believe we've actually spent 40 minutes doing this.
That's my
already.
bad.
I'm gonna move on a bit quicker. I've been taking my time, thinking we have to take our time with this one.
I am in no rush.
So hey, when can we expect to get Alliance ranks and ships? Asked. Thanks, Huita.
Dunno.
Okay, next question.
We do want it, but I don't know.
Okay.
Basically.
Will there authentic strength asks?
Authentic.
Excuse me. I'm looking for someone with strength, but not false, fake strength.
Nothing worse.
Do you know anybody with some real strength? I have just the man or woman. Authentic strength. And anyway, they ask, will there be new modules to customize our ships for planetary exploration?
There will be in season 2 a bunch of stuff to do with modules.
Great.
I can't say anything more than that.
Great. Okay, Space 2000 asks, will loot only be natural stuff, or there will be unnatural, alien, in brackets, loot to find as well?
All these rumours of aliens, I don't know. I don't even know if they're real or not.
Asked.
There will be, for the crafting system, there will be a mixture of natural stuff and processed materials as well.
How do we scan for these materials from space? New scanners, or do we need to surface scan again?
So materials that we'll talk about in a minute.
We'll talk about in a minute, yeah.
You won't be able to spot them from space. You will need the SRV.
All right. Well,
has specific scanner capabilities to find.
If this is
kind
a
of
spoiler for stuff we're going to talk about in a second, then I'll just.
Nothing more needs to be said there.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do. Hello again, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am going to then play. So what we did? What did we do? We did some interesting stuff. We showed the ASP Scout, which I think looks awesome. Again, I'm putting these all up in the stream. We showed the Cobra Mark IV. We did. Oh God! Oh no, we did that. Oh no! I clicked the wrong button. I'm glad I did that then. And,
oh my God!
And then we did the. So this is.
That's a peach.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? The Keelback.
Absolute fruit.
The Viper Mark IV.
It's an apricot.
It's an apricot, isn't it?
It's a strawberry. It's my favourite strawberry.
Things have turned a little pear-shaped.
Oh yeah, they are. It's all gone bananas.
It's all gone bananas. Fruit puns, welcome. So here we go, and we have finally... Yeah, here we go. Look at that. The Imperial Cutter.
Gosh.
Moment of silence for the Imperial Cutter. Massive cockpit. It's the lovely levels of detail on the side of the ship with the light on the name and stuff that just really show it as for what it is, and that is like a really premium thing. I mean, look at that. Look at the back end on that ship.
The Empire is rather ostentatious.
Look at that thing. Ooh, lovely. It's a really nice looking ship. It's huge. So, size.
It's big. In fact, just in case anyone was thinking that it's not that big, look at the cockpit. That's a bridge. It's really large.
Yeah. That's the centre there.
This is a monster. It's in the range of the Anaconda. I've got a feeling it might be a bit taller. All the Anaconda, the Cutter, and the Corvette are three behemoths.
Yeah, massive.
So yeah, again, quite comparable. I think the lovely smooth lines sometimes kind of belie the fact that it's really, really big.
That's right, yeah.
Because it's the Empire, man.
How much would it cost?
With the show-offs.
How much would it cost to make those smooth edges that size?
A lot of money, but that's
ridiculous.
Why do it if it's cheap?
That's true. That's the way. That's the way that they think. Yeah. So more about that. You've got loads of information about that.
It's actually quite fast.
Oh, okay.
It's faster than the Anaconda. It's faster than the Corvette. It's pretty damn fast for its size. It's got a lot of guns, 2 mediums, 2 large, single huge, and obviously both the Corvette and the Cutter have a bunch of utility mounts, so you can fit various forms of chaff and heat sinks and shield boosters and all the rest of the stuff like that. So it's a slight upgrade to the Anaconda in terms of firepower. Oh, it's a slight. It's definitely faster, but its manoeuvrability is not so hot. Okay. I guess the Empire like making things fast and sleek and shiny. They don't really turn for anyone. Okay. So that's its. So when you pull,
only turning their backs to poor people.
Absolutely. If you compare the 3 large ships, the 3 ships are all on the same scale.
Yeah.
The Anaconda is kind of like a benchmark ship. It's slightly more multi-role. The Federal Corvette, slightly more direct combat oriented, a bit more manoeuvrable, and it's got these kind of 2 giant huges as well, huge charge points. And then the Cutter, it's a little bit more boom and zoom, which is going to be really interesting on a ship that size.
Oh, yeah. So someone in the chat just said, "Ugly, give me the Corvette back."
Wow,
that's clearly.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I am a Federal sympathiser, so I'm forced. This is under duress. I'm having to sell the Imperial Cutter, even though it is a lovely ship, and I love that. That back end is pretty scrumptious. Yeah. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be a bit of a punctuated equilibrium in terms of combat with large ships, because these 3 ships are all very powerful in the larger scale. Awesome. So there's going to be some interesting combat, I imagine, going on there. Cool.
So here we are. I'm just looping all the videos now. They're just
why not bask in that glory? Because they're awesome.
Yeah, have you got some more to say?
I don't need to add anything more. It's plenty of internal compartments.
Yes.
It's more multi-role than the than the Corvette, but they're all very, very good ships.
So do you think, do you want to come back to just our faces? Do you think we'll leave it on with the video playing in the background while we talk about, or?
You're the boss.
Well, I am, but I'm just.
What do you reckon?
I reckon we let's concentrate. Let's bring it back again. Like I said, I'm going to be putting all of these videos live on the Frontier Developments YouTube as soon as we've finished the stream. But yeah, let's come back to our faces, because it says collectibles underneath, episode 5 collectibles. We've got a good 15 minutes left. I'm not saying you should fill it all with chat about collectibles.
Speak very, very slowly.
But tell me, what are, everybody, again, thank you for coming to see. We're going to find out about a new part of Lead Designer Sandro. What are collectibles?
Okay, so collectibles, or as I'm now going to refer to them, materials.
You heard it here first, folks.
They are a precursor to our crafting system, but they are not our crafting system.
Interesting.
So what these things are, these materials are elements that you can discover and collect initially on the planet's surface, or on planet's surfaces.
Yeah.
You can store them. You can store a whole bunch of them. You find them with the SRV. It's got special sensors that allow it to find them.
Yeah, and I think actually Mike Brooks is going to go into more details about that.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Brooks will be. He may well be talking about that.
Devon Play this week.
It's possible.
Okay, yes.
I can't see inside his mind though.
Yeah.
So in the long term, going forward, materials will be part of crafting. So there will be reasons to have them for crafting. Mm-hmm. But for 2.0, hopefully, they will also be available for something new, which we're calling synthesis.
Yeah.
So synthesis, it allows players, commanders in situ to do neat new stuff that they couldn't do before. So I collect a whole bunch of materials, mm-hmm. and depending on my what my ship is and what my loadout is, or whether I'm in my SIV or not, I can synthesize these materials to create effects. So let's take an example. I could be in my ship, in my Cobra, and I've taken a lot of module damage, and I've got an auto field maintenance unit, but it's run out of resources. So that's not a problem now, because assuming I can collect the right amount of materials, and it won't just be one material, it will be basically, it's a synthesis. You combine a set of different materials. I can synthesize resources for my AFM.
Okay.
So I can just basically carry on repairing my modules in space without having to go back and buy more resources from a starport. Likewise, and this is probably quite a big one, I would imagine, mm-hmm.
There's
a new module coming, a new module for pretty much all ships called the munitions fabricator.
Okay.
So this module will specifically allow me to synthesize ammunition in space for all of my projectile weapons and probably my missiles as well. Yeah. So this is a pretty big thing.
It's
basically
massive.
I get to do things like I get to make new ammo.
Yeah.
And I get to refuel, and some other cool things, like for example, all frameshift drives use normal fuel, but you can synthesize the right set of materials to temporarily give yourself a one-shot significant boost to your jump range. So that's
really cool.
That's pretty crazy. So you're injecting these materials into the frameshift drive, and it's saying, okay, your next jump's going to be 20%, 30%, 50%. It's going to be a lot bigger, basically. Okay. Obviously, you've got to have the materials. You've got to find the sets, mm-hmm. but that's not all. Okay, there's a bit more on top of that. So there's a few of these things. There's a couple more I haven't mentioned, but it's probably worth noting because it's pretty cool. Yeah. Is that there are different quality levels to materials.
Okay. What kind of materials are you talking? Do you only like?
So like mineral,
mineral. It's called.
There are minerals. I mean, again, far cleverer people have gone to the effort to make sure there are plausible connections between the minerals that you collect and the results that you get. Clearly, there's some amount of abstraction because we want to make a game, not real life. But but there are different quality levels, and if you use better quality levels, you get additional temporary enhancements. So, for example, the frameshift drive, the materials I inject into it. The amount of distance that I get to jump extra is dependent on the quality level. Ammunition, if I'm synthesizing ammunition, if I use better quality materials, then for that resupply in that weapon, I'll actually have a damage bonus. So it will literally have more punch.
How long will that last?
It will. So in terms of weapons, hardpoint weapons, until you do the process again or run out. So basically, when you restock by synthesizing ammo, that new magazine, effectively, all of it has a damage benefit.
Is that specific to you? So you're doing things to the actual ammo itself, or creating actual ammo? Can you sell that ammo?
No, you can't. So this is purely so that you can basically, and it's again, it's a lot of people have said, oh look, no one's using projectile weapons because they run out of ammo and you have to go back. And partly there is a balance element there. That projectile weapons, one of the things that's bad about them is they do run out, and this isn't a carte blanche to have them, to fire a weapon indefinitely. You still have to collect the materials, but it allows us to. So not only can you restock, so you're making ammo, you're synthesizing new ammo, but the quality of the materials you're putting into this process means that what the bullets that you get out at the other end, they can do more damage. So it's pretty cool. And this doesn't just apply to the ship. It also applies to the SRV as well.
In what way?
So for example, with the SRV, I could collect materials to refuel, to synthesize new fuel for my SRV, which is great because it means I can have extended runs, which is cool. But
I think
also,
Explorers, Ian Norman said just before in the chat, he said, I just saw him pop in here, he was like, Explorers will love this.
Absolutely. It not only, so for example, if I use really high quality materials for resupplying my fuel for my SRV, it means it can overfeed the shields on the SRV. So temporarily, and it will wear off over a short amount of time, but temporarily my shields will be stronger. Cool. So there's a few of those basically, and potentially more to come in the future as well. And that's, like I say, that's completely separate from crafting and loot. Yep. That's another use for materials, but it's pretty cool. I think
it starts to point towards something that's going to be happening with loot.
I think it's a good indicator.
Which of course absolutely. We'll have so much more information for everybody when we have it as well.
Someone said strengthening the hull. If you use high quality materials in the autofill maintenance, the idea is that you will temporarily give your hull, give modules increased hardness, which means they're more resistant to damage.
Okay. So there's all sorts of different things.
There's a bunch of different. There's about 6 different things, I think, and in the future, who knows what else could come.
I think it also depends on how people's reaction to it, of course, as well.
Of course,
like
it's a big new step. This is a big new step.
So how much in terms of game changing? So obviously this is part of one little part of what makes Horizon so big. Well, of course, landing on planets is one aspect of it, but this is coming with Lead Dangerous Horizons, so you have to have that to get this content. You
do at the moment. That's not to say that the process of synthesis isn't strictly speaking limited to Horizons.
Okay.
It's just that the initial materials you will only find on planets.
Okay.
Later on, it's very likely that there will be other ways to collect materials, and there will be other materials as well.
Interesting, but for the time being,
yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay, great. Well, it's good to know. So I think it sounds really exciting, and I can't wait to try it out myself. And
I can't wait to see what people make of it.
Yeah. I think the reaction from the community has always been very important to Sandy. So do give Sandy give Sandy love in the forums if you.
I'm sure they will.
And make sure you let him know how you feel about his lack of Hawaiian shirt today. Because although your Hutton Mug shirt is great, the Hutton Orbital shirt is great.
Orbital,
it's quite jazzy.
Don't worry, I'm sure that if they let me back on the stream again, which they might not now, I don't know, but
absolutely.
The flamboyant shirts
who they let you back on the stream?
They
just walk in,
paranoid.
It's always set up here. Just walk in, press the stream button. Here we go. You're ready.
Why not?
But yeah, everybody. So you've been amazing. Thank you very much for coming along and seeing us today.
Apologies for not answering. There's lots of really cool questions coming through, but I guess maybe we're running out of time. Someone just asked one. Oh, it's gone now.
No, go for it. We can stop.
No, like canopy repair. Initially, no. Although we've had some really interesting discussions about canopy repair, and in terms of crafting in the future, the canopy has featured. So I don't know where that's going to go, but there are some interesting points.
Yeah, there's loads. There's loads of people asking stuff about canopy repair limpets. They're talking about.
So limpets is basically the concept we've got for limpets. I'm really pleased with, because there are lots of directions we can go with limpets, with more limpets that do more things. So that could be cool.
Yeah, no, very good.
But I'm not confirming anything.
No. I think that's fine. Let's do a couple more questions. Let's keep going.
You know what? I'm feeling quite
jazzy.
pleased.
Are there any materials that can be found? And this is funny.
Oh, look
materials.
at this. Who'd have thought it?
Who would have thought? Blaman asks, and he's actually never heard of the word materials being used. And actually, usually, by the way, if you didn't catch everything that we just talked about, or if you go on the Reddit, usually someone has put like a summary of the stuff that we just talked about. And obviously, we're going to hopefully show you these things very, very soon. The nature of game development means it all comes together in this amazing sort of storm not last minute, that sounds like you guys are just hanging around and waiting on, what should we make the game today? Yeah, right, turn it on, done. No, it's not like that. Are there any materials that can be found on the other side of the galaxy?
Possibly. There will be places, lots of places to find materials.
Thank you.
And of different quality levels and different rarities.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding. Cameron Scott Armstrong asks, will there ever be an option to select which star in a multi-star system to jump to?
Guys, that's really interesting. This, okay, so I don't know is the honest answer.
Okay.
But from a personal point of view, it's something that I've always wanted, and we have talked about it. It may have even been in a DDF discussion at some point. I don't see any downsides to it other than it takes time to do. You know, and I don't know when, if at all, there'll be time to do that. But it's a cool idea. I do like it. I think most people like it.
Hut and Truckers will find that interesting.
Well, it does put the cat rather amongst the pigeon in some cases.
Yeah, exactly.
But, hey, you know.
Does the SRV leave tracks on the planet's surface, and if so, how long do they persist? Imagine first of all, I think that's an art question.
It is an art question, so I'm going to.
So we're going to pass on it.
I'm going to claim the fifth on that one.
Yeah, but you can imagine how much sort of server stuff that I don't know. I don't know either, so I can't.
They're geniuses without. I'm not sure how they do things.
Yeah. Well, I asked you.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what the exact ranks are for the cutter and the Corvette.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll find out at some point.
Interesting. Osric42 says, if some basics of the crafting system are not in place for 2.0, what will we be able to do with the materials? Has this just been asked now? It must have just been asked now.
Well, synthesis is the answer with materials. Okay. Yes.
Geely asks, does planet temperature affect the ship heat levels?
Oh,
good question.
You know what? I don't know.
We have to. It must do. Of course it does. I mean, if you're landing in a car and it's got like a temperature reading of outside temperature, you know. Yeah. But you'd think that the ships are obviously big enough, and it's a good question.
It is a good question.
I'll go and ask somebody, and maybe we can put that.
I'm not sure. Is the answer there?
Yeah, it's one for David. Really, it's the sort of thing that he would.
I'm sure he would know. I'm sure that the coders and the people would know as well. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. And a couple more questions. Let's put. You know what I'm going to do while we've got that going. Got this looping. The video of all the looping stuff
too
in the
huge.
background. So, will player crewmates count as wing members, or will wings count ships instead of players? Remember, you've answered so many questions today, so don't feel obligated.
Sure. So again, with the caveat that things could change. Yeah. The current plan is that crewmen will be wing members. So we wouldn't be looking at enormous crews of zillions of people or enormous wings of multiple ships and things like that. So it's at the moment they would both fit into the same space.
Nick Ilias asks, and remember, I'm just reading from here. So
you're just doing what you got to do.
Don't shoot the messenger. I can respect that. Right? Don't shoot the messenger.
But I will shoot you.
Yeah, no. Sandy reaches for his.
I've got for his
pistol. Why aren't instances gathering friendly players by default? In a near future, will we be able to choose which instance to join instead?
Why aren't instances gathering friendly
players by default? Like your I think it's the question. I think is, in near future, will we be able to choose which instances to join?
Well, interestingly, it does try to do that. Okay. It can't always do it. I mean, there are lots of vagaries with networking, like networking connections, quality, and all sorts of things like that, which might prevent it. But it does try and do it. I don't think we'd want to go to a choose your own instance type thing. Okay. I mean, I don't know. You know, in fairness, the networking is so complex and the guys are so clever. It would be terrible of me to answer any more than that. But
sure.
Yeah.
So let's end on a high. What are you most excited for with Lead Dangerous Horizons?
Pretty much all of it. I think it's terrifying, but pretty cool. So
it's terrifying.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here, and also I think it's worth noting this is the beginning. This is a beginning, not an end. When it goes live, that's the start of the whole new season, there's so much stuff. You know, the multi-crew and crafting and launch fighters, avatars,
NPC creator, not NPC creator, sorry, avatar creator.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much, and that's not to denigrate. Hopefully, some of the cool features that we will get in as well, which are just for the core game anyway. Which you know, like for example, I would hope we at some point during season 2 we get to get the ability to have your ships delivered to your location, so you can better manipulate, you know, your fleet. Rather than having them spaced out all over the place, you can move them around. There's just a load of cool stuff, and we want to get to as much of it as possible. But I don't, you know, obviously we've got these headline features as well. Yeah. What was?
No, I'm just thumbing up. I'm just giving the thumbs up. The headline features.
My hand's not that big, by the way.
And I, like Sandy says, the headline features. We've got loads more to show and tell you, and the dev update is. It comes out on Thursday, so you're going to see that as well. So Mike's going to talk about some new things now, which is all really, really cool. And we've got loads more to show you and tell you about with regards to Horizons. And the release date for the beta, of course, is this is for Lead Dangerous for Horizons, the 24th, which we announced on last week's live stream. So don't look at me as such a. You were like, hey, what? I haven't heard about this. I best go back to work because
it sounds great. You know, why not? I like it.
Hopefully, people will be joining us on the planet surfaces then. And
I hope
really
so. I hope we'll be hooning around, crashing our buggies and all sorts of mischief.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for your questions in the chat. So thank you so much for your questions in here. Hopefully we got around to asking a lot of the ones that were top voted. So thank you so much, Sandy.
Yeah, thank you for watching, all the people. It's so
it's
nice.
Really cool, isn't it? Yeah.
It means a lot.
Before we say goodbye,
here.
It is nice. Every single time you come on, you're always like, I love you guys.
I do. I love all you guys. Hugs all around.
Yeah, and it's 1.5 beta this week as well. We'll have a day exactly for you as soon as possible, humanly possible, really.
Yes.
A lot of work goes into these things, and as you've seen, the ships are really, really cool that are going in there. So,
yeah.
But before we go, I just want to do a little pluggy of my own. On Thursday night, that is this Thursday at 7 p.m. GMT, is episode 3 of Educating Ed.
Oh my goodness.
Educating Ed is where we get to have a bit of a sillier time with the community and do a little play around and be a bit sort of sillier, and I learn the ropes from a prominent community group.
Because we're really serious here.
Well,
this is
we're talking
serious.
about the deadly. This is the hard topics. But on Thursdays, I get to just be kind of stupid, and as people might have seen in last week's, fail at dropping out at the right point over and over and over again. But what happens is the first week, episode 1, I joined the Fuel Rats, and there's a playlist up on the Frontier Developments YouTube, and I joined the Fuel Rats, and they were amazing.
Go Fuel Rats!
And they talked me through how to do an actual real refueling, which was amazing. You should watch that. Secondly, last week I joined the
scary people.
ESS. They were very scary.
They were.
I
was frightened watching that. I was frightened for you,
worried.
Ed.
Thank
awesome.
you, Sandy. Yeah, it's good. It was really silly. It was a lot of silly fun. They were fantastic, and that group is amazing. So check that out as well. And then this week on Thursday, I'm going to be joining up with the Elite Racers. These guys are the guys that race around in circuits around.
You better bring it.
Yeah, if anyone saw the last 2, you'll realise how well this is going to go. So I think it should be a lot of fun. So hopefully everybody. Apparently laveradio.com. I just saw that. Just Chris Forrester, Lave Radio live at 8:30. It's a podcast all about Elite Dangerous.
Well, you better go and listen to that as well then.
You should straight away after this. Do it.
Why
not? Have a little break. Go and get some food. Recharge your energy for some Lave Radio at laveradio.com. Yeah,
go Lave Radio.
Those guys are really cool, and probably be discussing what we've talked about tonight, hopefully. So enjoy that. Anyway, thank you, Sandy, and hopefully come back. The long arm of Edward Lewis is going to stretch across here to you on the screen.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm so besotted by technology. Oh.
This man makes video games for a living, and he's excited by this.
Oh my God.
The roach. It's gross!
Oh, that's too much. Too much, even for me.
Guys. And so I'm going to go and upload those videos for you on YouTube as well, and I'll put a link in the Reddit. So anyway, thanks guys, and we'll see you next time. See ya.